The FBI on alert here in Wisconsin, and our Tony Atkins spoke to a law enforcement expert about last week's violence and what must be done to prevent it in the future.
At local FBI agencies, like the one right here in St. Francis, agents are working to track down the people responsible for the unrest in D.C. Others are working to make sure it doesn't happen again. A dark day in American history, already well documented as people in protest stormed the U.S. Capitol. 5 people were killed. Now the FBI warning of other armed threats at 50 state capitals. In Madison, boarded windows are now up as a precautionary measure. In Milwaukee, police say they aren't aware of any credible threats to local government buildings like City Hall or the county courthouse. But they say they are prepared to respond. Those words echoed by Milwaukee County Executive David Crawley, who couldn't go into too much detail for safety reasons.
We haven't seen any credible threats, particularly here within the city of Milwaukee or the county, to be quite frank. But we are preparing for anything that may happen.
What they didn't have was the resources to then reestablish those lines.
Douglas Parisi has more than 20 years of experience in law enforcement, dealing with crowds and training officers. I asked him what could have helped in Washington last week. He says more bodies, creating several lines of defense on the grounds, could have helped the outcome.
Okay, so if I get past these guys, now I'm going to have to deal with those guys. And so those are the type of things that the Capitol didn't have readily available, and it was because they were limited on manpower.
And if protests do happen, for peaceful protesters, Parisi says words matter in quelling already high tensions.
Tone down the rhetoric and say what they really mean. Like if you're talking about letting your voice be heard, then say, let my voice be heard. Don't take back anything. Don't show them who's in charge. Just I want my voice to be heard.
Parisi also says creating large perimeters around buildings like the state capitol in Madison or the county courthouse could be a good idea for law enforcement looking to separate peaceful protesters from disruptors who would then be trespassing. For now, reporting in St. Francis, Tony Atkins, TMJ4 News.